What's up, everybody? Tony Cutillo, Jigsaw's Judgment, PhillyInfluencer.com, at Heat Ratio Sports, Fox Sports The Gambler. Usually every single day on Jigsaw's Judgment, I decide to take some kind of storyline and think about, how we can make it better or give our take from data, from, whether it be personal opinions. But today is going to be a little something different. Today is all about the immaturity of none other than Joel Embiid. And I, for one, am completely tired of it. I'm sick of it. I've had enough. I'm ready to move on. And it's something that I was not ready to do. If you watch these streams, and 2 months ago, I was all in on keeping this team together. But I'm going to tell you something right now. We're running a professional basketball team here. Okay, that's what we're doing. We're running a professional basketball team that we're trying to win championships. We're not trying to win Instagram posts. We're not trying to win Twitter posts. We're not trying to win a Twitter war. I am so tired and fed up of the social media antics of Joel Embiid. Dude, grow up. Just do me a favor. Grow up. That's all I'm going to say. And the reason why I'm going to say that is because this has been stemming for the past 2 years. 2 years. I remember 2 years ago, I specifically wrote an article for PhillyInfluence.com that said, it was entitled, "Get Off Instagram, Joel. Get off and go play on the court." And the reason why I said that was specifically, you can't solve anything on Instagram. You can't solve anything on Twitter. If you want to tell Jimmy Butler you're proud of him, great. He has a phone. Use a text message. We don't need the trolling that you're doing on Twitter. We know what you're doing. We get it. But here's the difference. We want to win. Right now, if you want to put a tweet out, how about putting a tweet out about, looking forward to the future? How about putting a tweet out that, hey, I believe in my team. I'm ready to go. But no, you didn't do that. You didn't do that. You purposely didn't do that. What did you do that for? What did you do that for? Your own personal accolades. Alan Check said again, put down the fast food and hit the gym. I mean, listen, he deserves that. Say what you want, but he deserves that comment. He really does. And, it's going to continue to happen. This is what happens, Joe. When you live and you play in the city of Philadelphia, in a multimedia market, in a passionate fan base with people who basically, they follow you every single day, your movements, whether it be your interviews, whether it be your subjective tweets, they follow it and they screenshot it and they remember it. So when you're doing this, you think it's all a game. It's not a game. It's not a game. You're playing with our personal fandom. That's what you're doing. You're taking the fandom that we have and the love that we have for this city and this team, and you're throwing it in the trash can. And I'm getting sick of it. Absolutely sick of it. For all the Ben Simmons haters out there, where's Ben been? Have you seen him? No. Listen, would I like Ben to come out? Sure. But at least Ben's not tweeting out dumb shit like Joel Embiid. This is old. This is over. And it should have been true when you seen what happened when Brett Brown got fired and Joel Embiid came right out, and instead of looking at himself in the mirror, instead of saying, I have to do better, instead of saying, I was one of the reasons why the system didn't work because I didn't listen to the coach and I thought I was bigger than the team. Maybe he should have said that, but no. What does he do? He weasels his way out and he puts it all on Brett Brown, a guy who I wanted going anyway. But at least Brett Brown, he has credibility. Joel, you're just beginning to build credibility. You're just beginning to build it. How about working on the game? How about working on the team? How about being a leader? That's what you're being paid to do. And you have come up entirely small in this situation. Again, a time where we should be looking forward to what we're doing in the future for a coach that we want to bring in, for players that we want to change up, to offensive mindsets that we want to change. Have you watched the Boston Celtics right now? Have you watched the Miami Heat? Of course you have, because you're busy tweeting out about it and you're all over Jimmy Butler's jock. That's okay. It's all good. Jimmy was not here. That was a big time mistake. I am a huge Jimmy Butler guy. I will continue to be a Jimmy Butler guy. I hope Miami wins the whole friggin' thing because I love Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is Philadelphia. Say what you want. Jimmy Butler is Philadelphia. And that was a huge mistake. But it is what it is. We have to move on. We have to get over it because he's not here and he won't be here. So, Joe, you have to do the same thing. If you want to go to Miami with Jimmy, just go. Just go. I don't care anymore. I really don't, because I am so tired of these antics. I am. I'm over it, man. I am over it. I don't mind when athletes use social media. I think it's great. I love the interaction with the fans. I love the interaction with other players. But come on, when you're doing things that are cryptic, and you're trying to put silent messages behind these tweets, trying to stand out in the crowd, okay, stop. Just stop. It's not. This isn't a game. I'm going to say it again. This isn't a game. You know what this is? Paid a ridiculous amount of money, and it's not even about the money. They have a tremendous skill set. There's a reason why they're NBA professionals. There's a reason why they're players right now. Joel Embiid, it's just an NBA player. He's not an NBA professional. That's how I can sum this up. And what he needs to start doing is become a professional. And what I've seen and what we look forward to in the future, I don't think that's even going to be possible. I really don't. I don't think that Joel Embiid will ever get it. I don't. I think Ben Simmons has gotten it. I do. I think Ben gets it. I think Ben, I said this again, Ben on the court is the hardest working player we've seen in this town in the Sixers since AI. Say what you want. Ben Simmons hustles. Ben Simmons jumps out of bounds. And listen, I understand. You're going to say Joel doesn't hear that. Yeah, but you know what? Joel jogs, right? Joel doesn't play with the fire that he needs to do. Joel gives up. Joel gives up, and that's something you can't do. And then you see, obviously, it's his MO right now. He's given up, right? It sure seems like he's given up on this team, and it's not right. And it shouldn't be accepted by this fan base. We are a damn good fan base. We are probably, in my opinion, the best fan base in America when it comes to sports. Say what you want in Philadelphia, but we're passionate and we're educated. And for anybody to sit here right now, I challenge anybody to defend what Joel Embiid is doing and try to tell me, make sense of it. Try to tell me it's okay. Try to explain to me what his ultimate motive is in the sense of being good for the Philadelphia 76ers. Because right now, it's not. It's not good for this team. It's not good for ownership. It's not good for anything. And what if you're the coach that wants to come in to this situation? What if you're the coach and that's the first thing you're saying, or already you're saying there's a bunch of dysfunction inside that locker room? The star that you have signed up to this point at a maxed out deal, big time extension. This guy, he doesn't even want to be here. He doesn't want to be here. And you know what? Hey, listen, if Jimmy Butler is calling the shots to Joel Embiid and wants him out there, I'm fine with that. It's fine. But because I'm not going to be mad at Jimmy. Don't be mad at Jimmy. Be mad at Joel. He's a grown man. He makes his own decisions. If he wants to be a puppet to Jimmy Butler, that's on him. But you can't blame that on Jimmy. You have to listen. Joel Embiid is a grown ass man. Okay, he is a grown man. Just remember, Allen Iverson came into this league as a very immature player, and it was brought up by the support of his mother in Ann Iverson and the infamous Hall of Fame coach, the legend Larry Brown. Okay, that's who grew Allen Iverson up to be the player. Sure, Allen Iverson had his listen, he had his cuts in a row. We all know that, right? We all know that. We all have them. It is what it is. But AI, when he was on the court, he was business, man. He gave you everything. That's why we gravitate towards AI, right? Eric checks he acts like a spoiled child when they're losing. Exactly. And that's Eric. That's the issue I have. That's the issue I have. He is, you know what, as a youth sports coach, okay, I coach many youth sports. I've coached for many years, and he does the infamous throwing the hands up when a player does something that he doesn't like, shrugging his shoulders, shaking his head, instead of, reinforcing a positive atmosphere in a player like, come on, Rook, you're better than that. Come on, man. Hey, come on, Markel. You can do when Markel was here. You can do better than that. Listen, I don't like the outlook of Joel Embiid right now. And I don't think there's any way to go around. I mean, come on. You know what he's doing. You know what he's all about. And this team needs a direction. This team needs a direction to say, you know what? This is where we're going to be in the next coming years. This is where we're going to be, when we talk about bringing a new head coach in here. And again, I keep saying it. But, I'm going to say it again, and I'll keep saying it. Somebody needs to come in here and change the entire culture of this team. And I don't want it to be John Lucas. You already know it's not going to be Jay Wright. Okay, listen, was anybody actually surprised when Jay Wright had to come out with a statement yesterday to say, I'm going to stay in Villanova? I mean, for anybody who actually thought for a second that Jay Wright was going to leave Villanova, you do not follow sports the right way. Nick check, Jason Kidd. Nick, I'm with you. Man, I am. I'm with you. I want Jason Kidd. I do. I want Jason Kidd. I like Jason Kidd. I like what he stands for. Remember something. Jason Kidd had some issues in college, okay? He had some issues. And in the NBA, he faced a lot of adversity, and he's come out a better person for that. We all talk about, and I know if Eric's still watching, he'll understand because I know Eric's a very spiritual person. We're all talking about forgiveness, right? We've all talked about we make mistakes. And that's what happened when we talk about Jason Kidd. Were they mortal mistakes? Absolutely not. They were venial in nature, but what he did was he was able to rebuild his brand and rebuild his professionalism as an NBA player and coach. And Jason Kidd knows what it takes to guard another guard inside his league. He knows what it takes to have a perimeter game on the outside. He knows what it takes to basically take these these mental midgets, so to speak, because every rookie is a mental midget until they learn how to play within the NBA as a professional. So I like Jason Kidd a lot. I really do. I'm surprised his name has not been mentioned more. I think right now the 76ers seem to me that they're lost. I think the 76ers right now have no idea what direction they want to go in. None. Because usually when you have an organization that fires their head coach, you start to hear, at least you hear from them what direction they want to go into, right? We have not heard anything from the Philadelphia 76ers, which means to me two things. Number one, there's a power struggle between, the GM and the owners, or they honestly have no idea what they're doing. And I hate to say it, but I'm leaning towards the latter to say I think they have no friggin' clue of what they want to do in moving forward. I mean, they're more worried about where we're going to put in a new arena and building a new stadium instead of who's going to be our next head coach. This is, again, I will say it again, this is the most important, this is a historic offseason for the Philadelphia 76ers. The most important offseason they will ever face in the next 20 years. I'm telling you that right now, because what they do with the contracts they have, with the players they have in place, is going to symbolize what they do in the future for the next 5 to 10 years as a basketball team. This is huge. Say what you want. It's tremendous. And for this organization to sit back soft right now and really not even have a clue on what way they want to go or what they want to do, I'm telling you right now, I am worried. I am concerned. This franchise was looking up so much. We went through so much when we talk about the tank process, right? Unfortunately, the league had to kick Sam Hinkie out because he mastered their system. He knew what he was going to do. My faith was always in Sam Hinkie. They brought a guy in Brian Colangelo in that was living off his father's coattails. He was we got to heard he was a global enterprise and he was a scout for European players. Well, let me tell you something. Brian Colangelo destroyed this team. Say what you want, but Brian Colangelo destroyed this team. He destroyed and ripped down every single thing that Sam Hinkie did. He did it by the wasted draft picks, by the bad signings, by the bad trades. That's what he did. And you're sitting there, and listen, I am not a huge Robert Covington guy, and I understand we need to trade Robert Covington to get Jimmy Butler. But if you watched the Houston Astros last night against the Oklahoma City Thunder and you seen what Robert Covington was able to do defensively, that's what we missed on this team. And here's the thing. This is the same scenario I keep talking about with the Phillies when they traded Sixto Sanchez, their top prospect, in order to get JT Realmuto. If they let JT Realmuto go and they don't re-sign him, it is a waste. It is a failure. You do not trade your top prospect to let a guy walk. This is exactly what I'll say about the Sixers. They traded Robert Covington to get Jimmy Butler. He was part of that package. If they kept Jimmy Butler, I would not even mention Robert Covington's name. But what did they do? They let Jimmy. They embarrassed Jimmy. They didn't even give him a good offer. They let him walk. They thought Jimmy couldn't handle that 5-year maxed out contract or that 4-year veteran contract. They didn't think he could do it, right? They didn't think he could do it. He's laughing at him right now. And what we gave up in order to get him would be helping us tremendously right now. Think about if this team would have Mikal Bridges instead of Zaire Smith. Where is Zaire Smith? Who is Zaire Smith? Does anybody even know what number Zaire Smith is? What's he doing? Has he got out of the G League? I mean, we just watched. Here's another thing. We watched the Oklahoma City Thunder develop guys like Lo Tort last night, who's going in and dropping a rookie record. He was playing in the G League. He was playing in the G League when this season started. Right? And now he's playing in Game 7 in the NBA bubble against the Houston Rockets to advance to the second round, and he's dropping 30. Where's our developmental player that we put that we brought up? Where's our great draft pick that we bring up? We don't have it, man. We don't have it. We keep trading it away. And it killed the process. It did. I was all on board with the process. I was a TTP guy. I trusted it. I believed in it. I thought it was exactly what we needed to do. But unfortunately, it is a failure right now. And it continues to fail with every bad management decision. And I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but it seems like there's more to come. It really does. Little different. I had to vent a little bit. I appreciate everybody checking in, but I just get tired. I search for topics that I feel passionate about. So what I do when I do these segments is right away I scroll, look through the morning news. If something stands out, I'm like, hey, let's talk about that. Like I want to come on and start talking about Jimmy Butler, start talking about Jason Tatum, guys that should be on this team, right? Essentially, we should have Jimmy Butler and Jason Tatum on this team. If that's the case, you wouldn't have Tobias Harris or Al Horford. That's who we would have. Think how good this team would be then. Think how good this team would be if Brad Stevens or Nick Nurse was our coach. Think about that, or Eric Spoelstra. Think about how much he could change this team. It's amazing when you watch Bam and Whiteside on the Miami Heat be able to take a two-man system down low and actually make it work. But Brett Brown couldn't figure it out in here. Was it Brett Brown, or was the players not willing to adjust? I guess we'll never know. But right now, Joel Embiid, he's got to stop. Either stop or go. And I'm going to say it again: grow up, Joel, grow up. That is my the end statement for the day. Again, give me a follow at Heat Ratio Sports, at Cutillo 23. We are growing every day at Fox PHL Gambler. Fantasy football has started. I did a live draft for Fox PHL Gambler the other night. We're doing another live draft this week. I mean, we're consistently talking about what players look forward to. Leonard Fournette goes to Tampa Bay. We're going to do a little fantasy segment later, talking about running backs. So for anybody out there, fantasy football people, please tune in. Give us your comments. Let us know how your draft's making out. Again, in phillyinfluence.com, a lot of great writers on that site. And again, if you're looking for, whether it be a promotion for your site, whether it be a promotion for your brand or your business, let me know. I can put you in the right direction. Rise and React Media. We do it all. Cut commercials, do audiograms, interviews, TV, radio, marketing plans, campaigns, you name it. And if you're a small business out there and you're looking for a sponsorship, we have grown over 5,000 listeners in just a couple months on Heat Ratio Sports for the Heat Ratio podcast. We continue to grow. If you're looking for a small sponsorship somewhere to get your brand out there, to get your business out there, whether we're talking about promotional codes, whether we're talking about coupons, whether we're talking about a segment, we can label a segment for you. We can give you the whole show. Whatever you want, we are able to cater a package to you. So everybody, again, thank you so much for tuning in, doing this every day, going 2 weeks strong. Jigsaw's Judgment at Cutillo 23. Like I say, as always, stay safe, stay healthy, and we will catch you tomorrow.